Welcome back for round 2, game 2. We have Corey Patient on the left and Tom Smiley on the right. Tom led off with a Celestial Colonnade and play tapped and passed to Corey. Corey will play Preordain off of a Seachrome Coasts. Seeing the top 2 cards, he'll leave them both on top. He'll draw one, which is going to be a Signal Pest. And pass to Tom. Tom draws into a Preordain. So he's going to play Plains and then bring out a Squadron Hawk. Squadron Hawk will go looking. If you didn't see the other videos that I posted for Gordon, Wright, and Tom, I apologize for the glare. The glare is a decent problem with the bright lights down in the basement. So this week coming up that I'll be filming, we'll not have that glare issue, or I'll do everything I can to stop that glare issue. There are also significant changes coming to our venue, Harrison's Comics and Collectibles. Basement's going to be opened up more, so hopefully we can bring you a whole lot more in terms of FNM TV. That would be great to give you guys a bunch of different options for what you can see. Working on getting a specific table made, or at least these are ideas for FNM TV. Specific table made where mats wouldn't be needed. You could do like a poker table. Gonna have multiple cameras going, I believe, at once. We had Seth talking about that, so we'll have Seth end up getting a second or third camera, and we can have multiple shots going. I can edit these videos with a lot more complexity. Anyway, getting back to the actual match, Tom preordains. Game hasn't progressed too far where it's too crazy, but so far so good. Tom will pay 2 for a second Hawk, and he'll pass it on over to Corey after Tom searches. Yeah, Squadron Hawks in this deck shut down that Signal Pest from getting in there unscathed, because that's one of the biggest problems. There's very few flying low drops that want to see play, where Hawks are extremely huge in that ability where they can just come out, fetch up others, and continue to beat in early for aggro, or in this case, stop a Signal Pest from swinging in with other guys. And it also eliminates Corey animating that Inkmoth Nexus getting in. But that's a Tempered Steel, and yeah, Signal Pest gets in unscathed. Contrary to what I was just talking about. That kind of fixes things a little bit, a Tempered Steel hitting the board. So Tom will play a Glacial Fortress, comes in untapped. Tom has 2 birds on board and 4 mana. 1's a Colonnade, 1 I believe is a Tech Edge and a Plains. Yep, and that mana count would be correct. So Blade Splicer comes down. Now is a 3/3 on board with first strike, as well as a 1/1 and 2 birds in the air. At this point, Tom can race. He's ahead in the damage. But multiple Tempered Steels could change that, assuming Corey has one. Corey does have a Mox in hand, if I'm not mistaken. So 1 mana for another Preordain. Corey's version of Tempered Steel I like a little bit better, simply because it can funnel out bad card draws. The only thing that you're really slowing down is maybe your turn count, but it's a lot more consistent. So Corey taps 2 to bring out a Steel Overseer. Tom will allow it to hit the board. In comes Signal Pest for 2. Tom debating his moves. He's going to take the 2. End of turn, Dismember comes out to kill the Thingamaface, Steel Overseer, and it gets Spell Pierced. It's not all that bad though, however. Tom still is holding on to an Emiria Angel in hand, which can definitely provide blockers for a majority of the turns. Especially very key blockers in this, where Tom's already winning the damage race here by 1. He's going to drop an Emiria Angel, his land to get another flyer, and in come a stream of blockers, assuming that a Mirror Angel stays on board. I always have to watch out for dispatches in this deck. Dispatches, it does a lot. It's pretty interesting, to be perfectly honest, about what it can do. I mean, the condition on it can be lofty, but for the most part, you're running it in the deck that actually is going to utilize the Metalcraft. Granted, that's only Tempered Steel at this point. That has a competitive splash, but hey, there'll be more to come. Still early in Scar's life. Only, what, halfway through? Yeah. And a Glinthawk Idol. Those are very annoying. They dodge Day of Judgments unless you have targeted removal. That's pretty much what happens. Dispatch comes out. Like I said, how annoying it is, but it's such a good card to get rid of a Mirror Angel. Passing turn over to Tom. And that is a top deck. That is a Revoke Existence, if my eyes can see correctly. So, Tom's spreading his mana out. Right now he's not in a bad position. The longer the game goes, I think the more it favors Tom. So Tom switching around his field, putting the 3/3 with the Blade Splicer and the 1/1 Flying Bird token with the Hawks. Right now Tom has to worry about an animation for the Glinthawk to block, which will then become a 4/4 flying blocker guy, which is extremely annoying. On top of having to deal with a Steel Overseer on board, which is just... ugh. If I were Tom and I had it, I think at this point I would Day of Judgment. I'm not sure that he has it, though. Tom also has an Oblivion Ring, so he's definitely not in a bad position here. I think the play here is you Oblivion Ring the Glinthawk Idol, and then you Revoke Existence the Steel Overseer. But either way, it doesn't matter entirely. Actually, in this situation, I think it's actually a little bit better to do what Tom's doing. Except... no, actually, yeah, that's a correct play. That is the correct play. Glinthawk Idol, I just have a bias against. I really dislike it, since it dodges all my removal except for Consume the Meek. Black Sun Zenith, and seeing multiple of those on the board doesn't do anything. So now all of Tom's creatures are more manageable. On second thought, Corey had no cards in hand. I'm not entirely sure what I would have done. I'm pretty sure Glinthawk Idol would go, though, no matter what my decisions were, because that card is stupid. So Tom will play a Scalding Tarn. Is he splashing red for Pyroclasm? No, he's not. So Tom mulling over his decision for the turn. One Tech Edge, one Plains. He has a Celestial Colonnade. And 2 Glacials, I believe. 3 damage from Flyers coming in. Gonna animate the Glenhawk idol, animate an Inkmoth Nexus, and my screen went blank, and I had to change it, so if there's any problem with the editing, I apologize. So, 3 coming in, 2 blocks, Inkmoth will trade with, so left with a 3/3 and a 1/1 on board. Four mana for 2 more birds and passing. Good idea on the trading there from Tom Smiley. Tom has a better board position. Not only that, his mana activates for a creature. It's pretty good. 4/4 flying, vigilance creature. In comes damage. Signal Pest will block the 1/1, and the bird will block the other 1/1 flying birdie. Tom just going in for all types of damage that he can right now. But that timeless reinforcement, as he does all this, is sitting in his hand. That isn't going to do a whole lot. Draws into a card I cannot tell offhand. Another Blade Splicer, it looks like. So, in comes more damage. More damage coming in. Looks like he's going to animate. Trading. Blade Splicer comes in. 3/3. Coral draw Preordain. Play the Preordain. Look at his top 2. 2 more land, or a land and something else that I'm unsure of. It look like 2 land to me. Tap. Just draw his card. Play a second Preordain. Glenhawk Idol and something else. Glenhawk Idol. I have such a bias against that card. It's so good. Don't get me wrong. It's very good, but it's so annoying to play against. Because you already have to use so much of your removal against this card in order to get, in order to stay in the game so early, and then those come down a little bit later, and you might be sitting there without removal. And there's just not a whole lot else you can do. You just sit there and stare at it and let it beat you down. I run black-blue, so control element. I'm not really getting flying blockers like Tom does, or flying attackers, 4/4 vigilance that win the game for you. It's pretty good. So Tom Smiley wins this one, evening out the series with Tempered Steel at 1/1. Going into Game 3, if you look over here for related videos, you'll probably see that on your right if you look hard enough. We appreciate you for watching FNM TV today. Follow along for Game 3 you want to see the results, and subscribe if you haven't. Please let us know about us. We'd love to hear that. We'd love to have other subscribers. We'd like more viewers, and we'd like to hear your comments, so comment.